beautiful people, Stephanie here. Today we are finally taking a look at the Harmony Flute's Purple Heartwood Heidi whistle. I played this a few weeks ago on my channel. I've been meaning to review it ever since, and I haven't got around to it yet, so we're doing that today. Now, I do have two other Harmony Flute's Heidi whistles that I have reviewed before. They're all different woods, so I will play the three of them in one video today, just so you hear the slight differences in the sound of each of these woods. I have actually compared the other two in a video already, so I will link that in the description down below. And of course, I've reviewed one of these completely. So I'm not going to review the Purple Heartwood as such, but I will just give you guys a quick sound sample, obviously, of all three. I will give you some close-ups of this whistle so you can see how it looks in comparison to the others, and I will go through the volume and of course the tuning on this so you get an idea as well. So let's take a look at the Harmony Flute's Purple Heartwood in comparison to my two other Harmony Flutes. So if you haven't seen Harmony Flutes before, they're usually made from wood. They have a unique sort of shape and style to them, which is pretty typical of Harmony Flutes. They start off a little thinner near the mouthpiece, they widen out towards the tuning slide in the middle, this beautiful sort of bell shape, and then the main body of the whistle is tapered as it goes down. This is to allow for more comfortable playing, and it helps with the sound as well. It does flute out a little at the end, so we've got a little slight widening here, and this is the narrow bore version. They do also make a wider bore version. I have the wider bore in the ash wood here, and as you can see, the whole whistle is wider, so everything about the mouthpiece here, all of this whistle is wood, by the way, except for the little rings around the tuning slide, but everything about these, the mouthpiece is wider, the top section is wider, the tuning slide and the whole body is wider, but it still has this same shape. So we've got the narrowing, widening, the narrowing, and the widening again. I will just mention as well, obviously this is made from Purple Heartwood. It's an absolutely gorgeous colour. You can see all the patterns of the wood here. And we do have the logo. The tuning slide as well is nice and tight. It's got these metal rings around the outside for stability. And there's usually some sort of wrapping around here, usually cotton or hessian or something like that, just to keep the tuning slide nice and secure. I also have a rosewood. If you've watched my other reviews, you'll know this. And this one's a slightly darker colour than the ashwood, but again, it's the narrow bore, so it's the same size and shape as the Purple Heartwood. Now, when comparing these three whistles, the one thing I have found is I personally prefer the narrow bore whistles because they suit my style of playing. I'm quite used to playing whistles that need a lot of push to get into the second octave, but don't actually use that much air. So for me, the narrow bore whistles are perfect. The wider bore whistle for me is counterintuitive to the way I usually play. It needs a lot of breath. It's very air hungry, and it's generally louder, so it doesn't really suit where I play. So if you're a session whistle player, this one might be perfect for you. I would maybe suggest going for the wider bore. So let me just give you a quick sound sample of some tunes that I've already played using these whistles. Now, obviously this is edited sound somewhat. The nature of the whistle sound is still there, but it has been adjusted in post-production. So let me give you a quick play of the same tune on all three of these whistles so you can hear how they compare. you can hear, the three whistles do have some differences in their tone, in their voice, in their little personalities made from their different woods. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of wooden instruments, and I don't know whether it's the extra responsibility of maintenance or whether it's the fact that they tend to be quite loud, that I'm not particularly keen. They wouldn't be my absolute favourite if I was to choose a material, but these whistles have been a real pleasure and have really actually given some of my tin whistle playing a different sound, a different feel and texture to the music, which I really appreciate. I'll do a quick tuning test for you now and also a volume test, and I'll put up the volume decibel comparison between this whistle and the previous two I've played. For me, it's slightly flat in the lower octave, especially when I first pick it up to play, and then on the very high notes it kind of goes a little sharp. So it's not the easiest to get to play in perfect pitch, but in most cases, most tin whistles aren't the easiest instruments to get to play perfectly in tune. But I think the more you play this whistle and the more you get to know the amount of breath that you need, and the more you warm this up before you play, the better it will play in tune. Now, all three of these whistles came to me from bigwhistle.co.uk. If you don't know, it's a UK-based website, and they sell a load of different high-quality whistles from fantastic whistle makers all over the world. And what they do is they get them in stock. So it's so much quicker if you're ordering from the UK to order from Big Whistle. Also, you save on import fees, and of course, you have a UK base for these. Now, previously when I reviewed these whistles, I did have some comments about the fact that these are Russian instruments. They're made by a gentleman called Pavel Mira in his little workshop in Russia along with his wife. These instruments are handmade. He makes other instruments as well, and they're really good quality instruments. Obviously, some people feel that there are some ethical choices playing instruments like this because of everything that's going on at the moment, but now you have this information, you can decide for yourself whether you're interested to buy these whistles. If you are, head over to bigwhistle.co.uk, which I've linked in the description down below, to find out more.